Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to FestNews. We want to start out by wishing a happy Father's Day. If you're looking for a fun way to spend the holiday, look no further. We have all kinds of fun events happening today. Paul is going to give us a rundown of the schedule in just a second, but first, let's hear a message from the mayor of State College.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ron Filippelli, and I'm mayor of State College. And I'm happy to be welcoming you to the third annual Central Pennsylvania Theater and Dance Fest. First, I want to take a moment to thank the event planners and organizers for making this event virtual. Your efforts to adapt and change made this annual event possible. The Theater and Dance Fest has become a cornerstone event for State College and would have been greatly missed. The Theater and Dance Fest is an important annual event because it highlights all the great local talent and exposes attendees to a wide range of performers and performances. It is amazing to see this event grow and attract national talent. The event and all the performers help make our community vibrant. I hope everyone has a great deal of fun at the fest. I look forward to seeing it in person again next year in State College. Thank you.
Thanks to Mayor Filippelli for the kind message. We love State College, and we hope that we can host Theater Fest downtown next year. But for now, let's talk about our online schedule for today. There's storybook reading, along with Mrs. B, starting at 10:30 a.m. this morning, and then Egyptian dance techniques and choreography with Shannon Bishop of Black Cat Belly Dance. You can also take beginner ballet with Miss Nicole of Center Dance, and then Wordstock will begin at 11:30 a.m. And today it will feature verse plays with Mary Roherdan and Tempest Productions. Later at noon, we'll be going in live for Shakespeare Wild About Will. And then from 1 until 3:30 p.m., there will be 2 live readings from the winning plays out of the playwriting competition. Later at 3:30, you can get a sneak peek of the next stage's production of Celandine. And then at 4 p.m., you can tune in for Poetry Hour featuring Julia Kasdorf and Shara McCallum. And by 5, you'll be joining us again for another broadcast of FestNews. All of the links for those events can be accessed online at centralpatheater.com. And now we're going to check out a poem by Amithi, a student at State College Area High School.
Songs of Childhood. The two of us together, songs of childhood, ringing through the cavernous forests, escaping from muddled conversations, hands grasping at innocence, blinded by the gaze of the sun as we name clouds slowly drifting by, fragments of sentences joined by the sweet honeysuckles, grass-stained knees, and sweaty bodies, counting scars, blisters and calluses gathered from forbidden journeys to kingdoms of another land, reminders of the lingering daylight and encompassing dark, secrets engraved tightly between interlocked pinkies, fragile thoughts of dreams yet to be dreamt. The whispers of crickets interrupt stories of long-lost heroes, of grandeur, nobility, of myths and lore. Days lost, scars fading, dwindling secrets, knees left untouched, hands no longer searching for words covered in dust. What remains? The two of us.
Thank you to Amithi for sharing that work with us. And now I want to tell you about our daily challenge. So today's daily challenge is attend Broadway trivia. So that's right, tonight at 6, we're going to be doing a special live stream just for Broadway trivia. And make sure that you go to our Facebook and set a reminder for the live event so that you can participate, because the person with the most points after the end of Broadway trivia will win a $100 gift card to Webster's Bookstore and Cafe. And if you don't live in State College, no worries. Webster has an online bookstore, so you can shop from a distance. There will also be a second place prize of a $50 gift card to the Art Alliance of Central PA and a third place prize of 2 tickets to Drag Bingo with Harmonica Sunbeam, thanks to the Art House. In other words, we have awesome prizes that you have a chance to win, so make sure you visit our Facebook page to set a reminder and join in at 6 o'clock tonight. You can also share the post with friends so that you guys can come to trivia together. And speaking of Broadway trivia, we're still going to be doing a question later in this broadcast. So make sure you're viewing this on YouTube or Facebook so that you can comment the answer. For now, we're going to check in with resident poet Tiara Williams, who will be reading her poem, When I See a Black Man, for us this morning.
When I see a black man, I see someone who's fine. No, really. I see a strong, fearless man. I see a man who's been kissed by the sun and dipped in cocoa butter. Yeah. When I see a black man, I see the strength in his arms and what his hands can do. I see an architect constructing the pyramids, or I see Mr. Latimer forming that light bulb. Oh, when I see a brother, my heart skips a beat. Because I know in this world, to be a black man, you have to be a strong, strong man. And intelligent, might I add. I see a man that will give me the moon, and a man who will protect the fruit of my womb. I see beauty. Pure, melanated beauty. And an innocence that can only be caught in a glimpse, because being vulnerable is something he doesn't have that much time for. But the world doesn't see my black man that way. When the world sees my black man, they see a thug, a murderer, a criminal. They see him as vile, vicious, indispensable. They see a danger to the community, a menace to society, or worse, nobody. But that's not what I see. I see lawyers and doctors, engineers and mathematicians. I see poets and musicians and dancers. I see record breakers and presidents and politicians and broadcasters. I see fathers and grandfathers and sons and brothers. I see tall, dark, and handsome. I see black and beautiful. I see men of excellence. When I see a black man, I see the essence of God. What do you see? Or are you blind too? Thank you.
Thank you, Kara, for sharing your work with us. It was beautiful. As always, it's great to have you join us on Fest News, and we are very grateful to have you here as our resident poet. Now, folks, time for the Broadway trivia question. There's a main question and an opportunity to earn bonus points. Main question is, are you ready? In The Sound of Music, how many Von Trapp children are there? And for a bonus point, can you name all 7? We'll trust that you won't Google for the bonus question, and we'll check back with you after we talk to our next guest.
Our next guest for today is Center County Commissioner Mark Higgins. Mark has always been a huge supporter of the festival, and he wanted to come say hello to the festival audience this morning. Welcome to Fest News, Mark.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
What is it like to be county commissioner? What kinds of things do you do?
It's a very interesting position. county commissioners, actually county government itself, handles a lot of things that are too complicated or too large for a local municipality. Not all of the municipalities of the 35 in Center County are the size of State College Borough or even Ferguson Township in terms of population. But obviously states and the federal government handle a lot of other things. So we've got about 52 different departments at the county, and we handle everything from marriage certificates to recording property to running the court system to running the county jail to handling human services, literally from birth until past death in terms of the county coroner. Counties work in cooperation with the state and the local municipalities to deliver services as seamlessly as possible. A good example would be the senior center at the mall. That's a partnership between the county and the Center Region Park District. And I know it's very popular with the seniors throughout the Center Region and beyond. I could go on if you'd like.
That works. Thank you for sharing. What are some of your favorite things about Center County?
Oh my, that'll be even longer. There's so many things to love in Center County: the natural beauty, the wonderful people, the vibrancy of State College, the history and architectural beauty of Bellefonte, the grittiness and strength of Phillipsburg. Obviously, I'm ad-libbing some of this. The kind of cool rural funkiness of Millheim, the wild beauty of places like the Mountaintop and Snowshoe, and Bald Eagle Valley with its beautiful state park. A lot of wonderful things physically in Center County, but I think the most amazing thing about Center County is the people. The Theater Festival would be a good example. It's Father's Day. I was kind of vaguely the father of the festival. I said I would love for us to do something like they do in Stratford, Canada with the Shakespeare Festival, or like the Shaw Festival in also in Canada. We've got almost as many theaters here in the downtown area as either one of those festivals do. And we've got a great theatrical community, great dance community, a great music community. Let's all work together and put on something fun and bring people to the region. So working with what's now called the Happy Valley Adventure Bureau, and of course Cynthia and Elaine and Jim, can't forget Jim. We've ended up with a third annual festival, which has been a heck of a lot of fun. And that's one of dozens of festivals we put on here in the region. Also, from a charitable standpoint, we have over 300 different nonprofits that provide a broad variety of services and culture here in Center County, so that we're medium-sized, we're in a rural area, but you end up with a lot of the culture and variety of a much larger city without any of the downsides.
That's awesome. My last question is, what is your favorite part of the Theater and Dance Fest?
Oh man, I gotta pick. Well, I'll cheat and pick two. I always like the big showy productions that Fuse puts on. The Hunchback of Notre Dame last year was one of the best shows I've seen outside of New York City and Chicago. It was very, very well done. Really enjoyed it. The other part, I do enjoy the child focus, the youth focus of the festival. A lot of things going on for the kids, a lot of things where the young people participate. And I thought the closure of Allen Street last year was off to a good start for the children's area, and kind of wish we'd been able to do it again this year, because my goodness, the weather yesterday was amazing.
It was, you're right. Well, thank you for joining us this morning, Mark. It is always a pleasure to get to visit with you, and thank you again for all that you do to support the festival.
Well, you're welcome.
Now we're going to head back to Randy Majori for the answer to Broadway trivia.
Okay, folks. We had writers here. They had one job. So I'm going to go with this. I had mentioned the number earlier, but the responses are in. The correct answer to how many Von Trapp children are there is 7, as correctly guessed by Caitlin Osborne. And as for their names, Carrie Marcinkevich, who correctly named Liesel, Friedrich, Louisa, Kurt, Brigitte, Marta, and Gretel. Congratulations to our winners. Now, let's check out today's video from Allied Motion Dance Company.
In the following recording, you will see some submissions to Allied Motion's community choreography project, made by dancers and members of the community. You will also see members of the company react to those videos, pointing out elements that were interesting, intriguing, and inspiring. The community choreography project is still going on, and we are still seeking your submissions. At the end of the video, you will find information on how you can view the tasks, record your own video, and submit them to Allied Motion's Community Choreography Project. We hope you enjoy the video and that you'll be inspired to move. I chose to comment on Carly Esworthy's task number 2. I just love Carly's execution of this task, and I think there are 3 reasons for that. The first one is that she somehow manages to make sure that the task is not a template. It's really just an inspiration. I think that this is a sequence where it's actually a little bit hard to assign each word to a movement. There's some clear movements that stand out to me. I think that her execution of float and her execution of hover and certainly sweep are really, really clear, but the whole thing doesn't have a sort of A, B, C, D, E feeling to it, which I think is interesting and terrific. The other thing that I really love about this video is that she uses the natural landscape, but also she uses the camera frame in a way that is really beautiful. I think that the beautiful sky behind her, the way that she interacts with the dirt, when she does her sweep, give her this sort of placement in space, but at the same time, she's not afraid to allow that frame of the film to also impact the way that it looks. And I think that that is what we could all learn during this time of trying to think of video, if we haven't done that before, that it's not just a way of capturing what would otherwise be on stage or in the studio. It really is its own unique medium. And I think Carly's execution of this task shows that in a beautiful way. Let's look at the tape. So here we've got the float and the snap. But I love how she's getting down there with the dirt. It's a really natural and beautiful moment. The dirt itself is floating and hovering as she is too. And then finally, just this way that she has of drawing out those last couple of words. She's just gonna hover until she's done hovering. And then coming into the end. We hope that you have enjoyed learning about Allied Motion's Community Choreography Project. Please join us throughout the week as we present pieces of our documentary at the FestNews broadcasts. And tune in Sunday, June 21st at 7:30 p.m. for the full presentation, Building Community and Choreography in the Virtual Moment.
A reminder, as Caitlin just mentioned, that Allied Motion's film Building Community and Choreography in the Virtual Moment will air tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you all for tuning in to this morning's broadcast of Fest News. We hope to see you for our next show at 5 p.m. this evening, and again for Broadway Trivia at 6 o'clock. Until then!